Oh, yay, episode 5. Last episode of the series. Now, I pretty much liked the series okay, but there were things that bugged me, like their use of pigeon signed English as opposed to actual ASL kind of bugged the crap out of me. I mean, we're dealing with a deaf main character, and the actress is deaf. They speak ASL. But I guess because everybody else is hearing, but like between her and her mom, if they're both deaf, they should be using ASL and not Pigeon. But anyway, uh, last episode, which fits into the beginning of this episode, Maya decides that she's going to use her slingshot to take down a hummingbird. I'm sorry, woodpecker. I don't know where hummingbird came from. And she does, and then tells her mother that, she found it. It fell out of a tree. And the mother was, she understood that that was bull. Maya did something. And she's like, yeah, I want to see if I could hit it. She had sociopathic tendencies from the very beginning, I see. But anyway, so this brings up a part that bugged me in the last episode, is that they were trying to have a song that exuded spirituality, which is great, except they used a Christian spiritual. Why? I mean, I'm pretty sure that was not a traditional spiritual. What the hell? And since they used the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma as help, they could have found something better. So yeah, that kind of ticked me off. But so the mom heals the bird, which I'm getting the feeling is the same bird that's been following Maya around and helping her, especially this episode. And so you see her healing the bird, and then she's explaining. Well, actually, this happens later. So it's the day of the powwow, and first Chula finds Wilson Fisk. She's about to mail out a bunch of letters, and Fisk wants to hear about her granddaughter, Maya. And I'm just screaming, considering Fisk shipping is a thing, and people generally know who Wilson Fisk is. How does she not know? I mean, she seems to be very much in tune with what's going on in that town. Why did she not know who Wilson Fisk is? I mean, fine if you don't know the face, but the name? Really? But anyway. So then we see his posse, including Zane. And this is weird because I'm like, wait, are they trying to kill Maya? If that's the case, why did Fisk stop them the first time? But I guess, he's suitably pissed at this point that he's fine with killing her off. I don't know. So they park in the vendor parking lot because they ignore what Biscuits is saying. So Maya is at a restaurant. Now, at this point, I thought she had left the town. So I thought she was outside, so I thought she was leaving. But apparently, even if she was, Biscuit said the words that brought her back, that Bonnie and Chula are missing, that he hasn't seen them, and they were supposed to be there an hour ago. So she quick heads off to the house, and she finds her mother. Obviously, it's just a figment of her imagination, in the sense that there is some real life consequences to this, meaning, like I said, it's bizarre. But so she actually better explains than Chula what these visions are that she was seeing. That one represents cunning and tenacity and ferocity and love and all of this. So now she's explaining what's going on. And even the bird gets explained because, like I said, looks like the same bird, even though it's a woodpecker. It could be any woodpecker, but it's implied that that's the same woodpecker that helps Maya. So Maya puts on her dress, which I think is the dress that her grandmother modified. That it was the dress she was looking at when Maya left. And she was upset at how things ended between the two of them. So then we see, and Chula had a cute flirtation with her, with Scully. It was very, very cute, wanting the sewing machine. Oh, but you can take it because that'll make you come back. And so she puts on the dress and goes to the powwow, and she's hiding herself amongst the dancers when there's this APB going out saying that we're looking for Maya Lopez. She's armed and dangerous. And my response is she's dangerous even when she isn't armed. So kind of redundant on that part, but so she's looking around trying to see if she spots anything. And then she sees the woodpecker. So she manages to slip out and go to that building. And in the meantime, Uncle Henry calls Biscuits and asks Biscuits if he has any weapons. And he's like, I have something better. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to use the car. He's going to use the truck. I didn't realize that they turned it into a monster truck at this point. So they have like the freaking SWAT team. All this firepower just for Maya. And so Maya goes into this building and she's confronted by Fisk. And then before she has a chance to shoot him, she sees Bonnie again and Chula. Now at this point, Fisk's lips are moving, but we're not hearing anything. So obviously this is from Maya's perspective again. And that actually bugged me earlier in this episode because they did that during the powwow. And as much as I enjoyed watching them do the powwow, it loses something if you can't hear. So I was kind of bummed that they chose to do it then. And at first I was like, wait, what happened to the sound? Because you can't hear Fisk, but Bonnie is translating, which is strange because Maya can read lips. We've established that already. So, but anyway. I guess Fisk at some point knew that she was going to ditch the contact lenses like she did. I'm actually surprised it took her this long to do it. And so she tries to say how I'm my family's legacy, not yours. So, you can just basically shove it. And he's like, oh, well then, it's gonna hurt more when I kill the rest of your family. So she uses her gifts, as her mother put it. You see her surrounded by all those other women that we've been introduced to, including the mom. And she grants powers to both Bonnie and Chula. And so they are able to take down the guys that are holding them hostage. And Maya, of course, does Maya things. And while that's happening, we see Biscuits driving over the van of all these, like I said, they look like SWAT team members. He drives over their van. And while Zane, it looks like he's about to try to shoot someone, or he was just looking. And then he sees Henry with a gun pointed back at him. He's like, wait, what? And then gets shot. And I'm thinking, God, you're dumb. If there's a guy with a gun pointed right at you, maybe shoot him? I mean, instead of saying, that's peculiar. What? So yes, Henry survived because the guy he took down was super dumb. I mean, that was just very stupid. So the powwow manages to go off without a hitch. I'm not sure if the people at the powwow were even aware of what was happening. And so then Maya, because she has her mother's power of healing, looks like she's trying to heal Fisk. And at first I thought she was going to heal his eye. It looks like that's what she was trying to do, but it sounds like Fisk was... It's not so much that he... Well, basically he resisted her. For some reason, he wanted to hold on to his pain. I do not know why. But she tried. She tried to heal him, and it didn't work. And then afterwards, he screamed, "What did you do?" And I'm thinking, no, what did she try to do? Because obviously, whatever it was, it didn't work. So, Fisk gets out of there right as the police are coming, because of course he does. I'm sure Maya took off at this point as well. And then later we see her, and again I think she's leaving town. But no, she goes to the house where Chula, Bonnie, Biscuits, and Henry are all around. But no Scully. I was kind of bummed about that. I mean, considering that it sounds like they might end up back together again, it kind of sucked that Scully wasn't there. Because Henry is a Lopez. He's not related to the other three. So, at least I don't think. He's definitely not related to Chula. I don't know who's Biscuits and Bonnie's parents. They never tell us. Because he's Uncle Henry to everybody. So, I have no idea. If there was a third brother, if there was a sister, if they're related because of on Chula's side, I don't know. I don't know who is if Henry is the odd person out or not. I have no idea. They didn't make the familial connections. They didn't establish it. So, Biscuits, I take it, was regaling everybody with the story of him going monster truck on the asses of Fisk's army. And then they see Maya. And first, Maya, Chula goes up and hugs Maya. And she and Bonnie were having a nice smile towards each other. But I was actually expecting Bonnie to get up and them to hug or something. Didn't happen, but... So, that's how it ends. And then there's a post-credit scene for those who didn't stay for that. There is a post-credit scene of Fisk being super pissed and on his private jet. And he turns up the radio. And there's a woman there who I swear looks just like the interpreter he had killed earlier. So he's listening to the news. And I assume they're talking about New York news, because they're talking about what type of mayor, what type of mayoral candidate people want. And since he's leaving, I assume it's New York news. So, yes, it's the beginning of Dark Reign and Mayor Fisk. Or at least it's leaning towards that. So, that's how it ends, with Fisk getting, with the light bulb going off that maybe he should run for mayor. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if this means that Echo is going to stay in Oklahoma, or if she's going back to New York, but she's going to make more frequent visits to Oklahoma rather than, not give a crap about them, pretend that they don't exist, or whatever it was she was doing. Because we know that Fisk is going back. And then, of course, the question of, in future projects that feature Echo, if we're going to see any of these other characters, or if they're going to make reference to them, or because Echo's home base is going to be New York, we'll never see or hear from them again. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next with the Echo character, whether she's going to appear in Daredevil Born Again, which would imply that she moves back to New York, and how extensive is Daredevil Born Again? Does it only take place in New York? Is it going to take place in other cities like LA? Because we already know he established some sort of a relationship with Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. So lots of questions as to what this leads to. The only thing we know is that Fisk is going to run for mayor. And at least in the comics, he becomes mayor. Whether they're going with that, or they're just going to maybe snuff it out before he actually can become mayor, who knows. But after all that, I think I've covered this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.